Previously on the Pastor's Chronicles.
The occultists also worship science. They worship mathematics underlying science. They literally believe that numbers possess inherent powers on their own. There's a man by the name, he was a Satanist, and he was highly significant in the latter part of the 19th century. His name was W. Wayne Weiscott, and I probably butchered his name, but anyway, he was a follower of Pythagoreanism, and they referred every object or planet, man, idea, and essence to some number or another. They also believe that symbols explain all ideas concerning the nature of things. And the same with numerics or numerology. They feel like that, they believe that it explains secrets of nature and revelations. They believe that numbers are a key to ancient views, spiritually and physically, to the evolution of the present human race. And they believe that all systems of religious mysticism are based upon numerals. Welcome to Zero-Day Chronicle. Before starting the video, make sure to smash that like button. Do it now. It only takes a second to do it. And hit the subscribe button and the bell to turn on notifications so you can be informed whenever I upload new chronicles. Also, visit my website, that is tpchronicles.com. There you can read articles and see videos that cannot be uploaded on YouTube. You don't want to miss those videos. The link is in the description box below. Also, join me on Facebook, Twitter, IG, TikTok, social platforms. If you are down with the campaign, type CN, which stands for Chronicle Nation, in the comment section. Upon that note, let's get into this next video, and it goes like this.
Drain fuel. They added something to the coolant lines. They played with electronics, and that's not typical vandal stuff.
Less than a week after bringing free water to Flint, Moses West says the green machine he designed to do just that was vandalized.
Once they broke into the machine and they destroyed the generator, very technical. They knew what they were doing. It wasn't just, random vandalism, not at all. They destroyed the battery. They put metal in the fuel system. I saw that when I was cleaning the fuel filter.
West is a military veteran who travels across the country to areas in crisis, bringing a machine he designed, like this one, that literally makes fresh water out of thin air. He put the green machine out for people along Saginaw Street on Thursday and was hoping to make a big impact. He says before the vandalism, they were giving hundreds of people.
Welcome back to TPC, which stands for the Pastor's Chronicles. We are looking at Chapter 1E Extension. This is just a continuation of Chapter 1E. I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way about numerology so we can go on with this chronicle. I don't want to keep prolonging this chronicle because we have a lot of things to touch on and a lot of other chronicles to look at. Before we get started, I just want to address this. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you won't miss out whenever I upload new chronicles. Be a part of this movement, the Chronicle Nation. Your likes and comments will also help the algorithm so many people can see this video. So we really couldn't touch on the numerology 11, the number 11. So at this time, I want to go ahead and jump into this understanding so you will know why certain numbers that surrounds the number 11, 44, 7, 33, 666, why these numbers are so prominent with the occult and why are so many deaths and catastrophic things are happening that surround these numbers. These numbers, again, supposedly have magic and a message behind it. So let's go ahead and look at number 11. So there's a lot of events that surround around the number 11, but let's just keep it simple by just taking 9/11, for example. The attack that happened on the World Trade Towers in New York occurred on September 11th, 2001. Now, the American airline flight number 11 was the first flight hijacked. The flight 11 call letters were AA11. A equals 1, A equals 1, AA equals 11. Flight 11. The American airline number is 1-800-245-0999. Now you do the math. 1 plus 8 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 0 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 equals 47. So all of it equals 47. 4 and 7 equals what? 11. So the emergency telephone number for North America is what? 911. For any information you need on the telephone, we dial what? 411. Manhattan Island was discovered when? September the 11th, 1609 by Henry Hudson. He has 11 letters in his name. The state of New York was the 11th state added to the Union. September 11th is the 254th day of the year. 2 plus 5 plus 4 equals 11. After September 11th, there are 111 days left to the end of the year. Exactly 1 year after 9/11 attacks, the winning numbers drawn in New York State Lottery for September 11th, 2002 were 911. This lottery is called Numbers and was broadcast live on television. On the morning of September 11, 2002, the numbers of 2,801, 2 plus 8 plus 0 plus 1 equals what? 11. Victims were read at ground zero. The World Trade Center Twin Towers standing side by side look like number 11. Each of the Twin Towers of New York's World Trade Center had 110 stories and were among the 10 tallest buildings in the world. There's 11 letters in Trade Center. There's 11 letters in skyscrapers. There's 11 letters in New York. 11 letters in the Pentagon. There's 11 letters in Afghanistan. One of the terrorists by the name of Ramzi Youssef, he got 11 letters in his name. 119 is the area code to Iraq and Iran. 1 plus 1 plus 9 is 11. Muhammad, the prophet of the Muslim faith, died in 632 AD. 6 plus 3 plus 2 is 11. Muhammad's birth is celebrated on the 11th day of the 9th month, 9/11. The Twin Towers equals 11, plus flight equals 11, plus September 11th equals 33. In the Brotherhood of Freemason, 33 is the highest degree. George W. Bush, is a member of the Skull and Bones, a spin-off of the Brotherhood. July the 6th, 1946 was George Bush's birthday. It can be reduced to the power number 33. 7 plus 6 plus 1946 equals 33. The perfect one to be president at that time because of his birthday, it adds up to 33. So George W. Bush has 11 letters. Adolf Hitler has 11 letters. World War I has 11 letters. World War II has 11 letters. Films and television programs produced before 2001 that featured the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center or events similar to 9/11 were edited in re-airings of television shortly after the attacks. One such example is an episode of The Simpsons, The City of New York versus Homer Simpson, which originally aired on September 21st, 1997, the main setting of which is the World Trade Center. There is a scene in this episode where Bart Simpson is holding up a newspaper with the image of Twin Towers and the number 9. The New York-based band Dream Theater released a live album titled Live Scenes from New York on September 11, 2001, on the same day as the day of Trade Center attacks. The cover art depicts the Manhattan skyline, including the World Trade Center's towers, in flames. It was immediately recalled and the artwork altered. The music video from a song called Piece by Piece by the British band Feeder was also changed. The original video depicts animated characters of the band playing in a New York skyscraper with the World Trade Center in the background and planes flying nearby. In the video, the band was portrayed jumped from the window of the building. Please take this time to subscribe, hit the bell to turn on your notifications. You may need to come back sometime Tuesdays and Thursdays around 5:45 Eastern Standard Time because YouTube believes in shadow blocking, which means everyone will not get notifications because what they're trying to do is destroy all channels like this that exposes what the enemies are doing.
Dear Dr. Brown, on the night that I go back in time, you will be shot by terrorists. Please take whatever precautions are necessary to prevent this terrible disaster.
In the 1985 classic Back to the Future, at a scene called the Twin Pines Mall, we will bear witness to a sudden surprise terrorist attack, perpetrated by a group of Muslim terrorists. The attack is at the Twin, which is a reference to the Twin Towers. When we turn the sign upside down, the digits on the clock read 911 or 9/11. The Twin Pines are a symbolic representation of the Twin Towers. Before the terrorist attack, the twins are present, but after the attack, the twins are gone, replaced with a single pine. This takes place on 9/11, where the twins are destroyed and replaced with a single tower, the One World Trade Building. Also at this scene, Doc shows us 2 stopwatches, both of which display encoded 9/11s. Is this only a coincidence? The pines are the towers, and this symbol system is confirmed in Back to the Future Part 2, where we see the twin pines appear again on a projection movie screen in Marty's future house. Marty's family gathers around the movie screen, and the twin pines actually morph into the twin towers. This is because the Twin Pines are the Twin Towers. The Pines are the towers. Pines, towers. And the Twin Pines Mall is the Twin Towers Mall, which is why all the clocks here secretly say 9/11 and why there will be a Muslim terrorist attack resulting in the destruction of the Twin Pines, or the Twin Towers. But the appearance of the towers is not a random backdrop, as we can see the Statue of Liberty lurking just as secretly as the towers, making this scene a secret recreation of New York City, where Marty's family has gathered to stare at Ground Zero. Of these three characters staring at Ground Zero, one of them is completely upside down. But in the entire Back to the Future saga, this is the only time when an upside-down character will ever appear. The hint being given here is to observe the scene from his perspective by turning it upside down. But when doing so, the Twin Towers are clearly shown to be falling down. In the entire history of cinema, this scene of Back to the Future is the most literal depiction ever made showing the Twin Towers falling down. So how is it possible that this scene would occur in a story that already contains a terrorist attack by Muslims at the Twins on 9/11, where the Twins are the Twin Towers, which then execute Hollywood's best depiction of the Twin Towers' collapse? But Back to the Future doesn't just portray this attack, it develops into an elaborate warning about it.
I can just go back early and warn him.
I have to tell you about the future!
Doc, about the future. You will be shot by terrorists.
But Marty is carrying more essential information about the future. He knows the exact time and date that a tower will be struck.
Save the clock tower! Save the clock tower! Don't forget to take a flyer. Save the clock tower!
In a story we already suspect of being a 9/11 warning, how is it possible that this phrase appears on a flyer telling the future? Then, when the tower strike takes place, a giant flaming 9/11 is ignited in the street.
Save the clock tower!
Marty knows exactly when and where this tower strike will happen because it's all written on this flyer and placed in his hands, but something lurks in the background overseeing this transaction. But why does this symbol hover while Marty is forewarned about the tower strike? Back to the Future was written and directed by Robert Zemeckis, first released in 1985, but to depict the future, Zemeckis chose October 2015.
All right, Doc, what's going on, huh? Where are we? When are we?
October 21st, 2015!
2015?
The Twin Towers scene takes place in October 2015, and the towers appear on a movie screen, meaning the McFly family is watching a secretly placed Twin Towers movie released on October 2015, directed by Robert Zemeckis. So how could it be that now, in the real October 2015, a major Hollywood production is about to hit theaters worldwide, and it is exclusively about the Twin Towers? It happens to be directed by Robert Zemeckis. The title of this new Twin Towers film is The Walk, and this new Twin Towers film has the exact same release date as the secret Twin Towers film planted in Back to the Future, which exposes the symbolism of the Pines and depicts the Twin Towers collapse. So why would Zemeckis now draw our attention to it with a major Hollywood production? Back to the Future was released in 1985, The Walk in 2015, exposing this warning after 30 years. Marty writes this warning into a letter. He seals it shut, intending for it to remain hidden for a specific amount of time.
What's the meaning of this?
Find out in 30 years!
What's the meaning of this?
Find out in 30 years!
The Walk is the reveal of the 9/11 warning, given to Doc while he is rigging a giant wire to the Twin Tower representing Clock Tower.
Evening, Dr. Brown. What's with the wire?
The Walk is about a plot to rig a giant wire to the Twin Towers. So Marty records the warning while Doc is rigging the wire to the tower. Marty tells Doc he will understand the warning in 30 years.
Find out in 30 years!
30 years later, the director makes a movie about rigging a wire to a tower, the Twin Towers, because the warning within Marty's letter is about a terrorist attack at the Twin Towers.
What's with the wire? What's with the wire? What's with the wire? What's with the wire?
After rigging this wire, the tower strike takes place, and a Marty McFly from the future runs out onto the scene. He has just time traveled here from October 2015, the release date of The Walk. But in The Walk, standing on top of the Twin Towers, is Marty McFly. This Marty has arrived here from the exact date where this Marty is standing. The plot of The Walk is the tower wire rigging event that just took place at this scene. One Marty is standing on top of the Twin Towers, while the other Marty stands inside a giant flaming 9/11 in the wake of a tower strike. While simultaneously across town, another Marty witnesses a terrorist attack take place at the Twins, which are actually the Twin Towers, a fact we learned from the secretly placed Twin Towers movie released on October 2015. This movie is actually The Walk, which is why it has Marty McFly standing on top of the Twin Towers.
What's the meaning of this?
What's with the wire? What's with the wire?
Find out in 30 years! Find out in 30 years! Doc! 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 Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's me. It's Marty.
No, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott!
More human minds on planet Earth observed 9/11 than any single event in human history, making it a massive terrestrial meditation concentrating collective consciousness onto a single space-time focal point, making 9/11 humanity's most potent consciousness-altering stargate. Zemeckis, a precogging conduit, channels the 9/11 archetype with his Tower Strike Twin Pines terror attack cinematic superimposition, both scenes featuring the transdimensional portal, pointing to 9/11 as the archetype of transcendence. The consciousness portal is opened by touching the 2001 monolith, the movie screen, as touching the two-dimensional screen dispels its three-dimensional guise, revealing how the images it portrayed were not actually real.
One of those that use so many names that you forget your own.
To touch the monolith is to be freed from the fabricated narrative portrayed on the screen or by film, finally seeing the illusion employed to paint audience perspective into a box. The screen as the 2001 monolith is present on Ground Zero in the form of the Millennium Hilton Hotel, which was intentionally built to mimic the 2001 monolith, the movie screen. Humanity's mass tuning in to the 9/11 event was the collective touching of the monolith, where enslaved minds in mass began rejecting the narrative of their controllers. To tune in to 9/11 was to touch the screen and finally see the illusion, opening the portal of transcendence. As Marty opens this portal during the 9/11 scene splice amalgamation, he makes contact with the illusion by touching film via the film booth at the exact moment the portal opens. Then by touching film via the movie theater at the exact moment the portal opens. Again, to open the portal, Marty must touch film via the movie screen at the exact moment the portal opens, touching the screen, dispelling the illusion, opening the portal while enacting the 9/11 archetype. To touch the screen, finally becoming the creator of the fabricated images, relinquishes the monopolization of its power, removing the smoke from the screen and arming the awakened with skepticism. This film-instigated ascension is the same as the 9/11 ascension, a message that discredits the medium which carries it.
used to call the Patriot Act the Concentration and Control of Cash Flow Act. And this is a very similar process. You're trying to dramatically centralize economic and political control. So let me give you an example. We have 100 small businesses on Main Street in a community. You declare them non-essential, shut them down.